All right, Shalom. It's your brother Kashab coming back at you with another lesson. Now, before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who taught me true and rule well. And peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopefully elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel. And may you endure it to the end, Lord willing. All right. And, I had this lesson queued up. I think last week, I didn't, I don't know what happened. I kind of forgot about it, through the Spirit, but, the Spirit allowed it to come back to me. I was listening to Apostle Ramlab going into the parallels, between ancient Egypt and the spiritual Egypt, which we know as America, all right, and which, the word Egypt just simply means a house of bondage, all right, slavery, in which, we are yet this day in our captivity, all right. But I wanted to get into this lesson on the first and second Exodus, all right, which you go into the word Exodus, it just simply means to exit, all right. And when we exited Egypt the first time, all right, the Lord saved everybody, all right, but this time he's only saving a remnant, okay. But all of the complaining, all right, and everything that went down in Egypt the first time, and how the Lord heard the complaint of Egypt, all right, well, he's hearing the complaints of the elect, all right. So let's start with that. We're going to go to Exodus. I believe it's 2 and 23. Let me see. Exit that out. 2 and 23. Right, so it says, and it came to pass in the process of that time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry came up unto the Most High by reason of the bondage. And Yahweh and our power heard their groaning, and the Most High remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob, and looked upon the children of Israel, and the Most High had respect unto them. All right, when you read verse 25 of NLT, it says he looked down on the people of Israel and knew it was time to act. All right, he knew that it was time to act, man. All right, and through the Spirit, we know that the Lord is getting ready to act on behalf of us. All right, as it says in Psalms 119. All right, it's time for thee, O Yahweh, to work. All right, because they have made void thy law. And we know that the Lord is getting ready to act, man, on behalf of who? The elect. You see? Now, you kick the footnotes, it says, or acknowledge his obligation to help them. All right? And, the Lord is always going to make good on his word, man. All right? For something to be an obligation to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we know that he's going to make good on his word, on his promise, all right, on the things that was written in the scriptures, as we was going into Camp Friday, all things will be fulfilled, you see. But if we can liken the bondage, all right, that the children of Israel was crying up for, or crying up to Yahweh, as the same thing that we are continually complaining about today, all right, but in wickedness, all right, because we know that 2/3 on this side won't make it. You see, in ancient Egypt, all Israel made it, all right, and you had some that were murmuring, complaining against Moses and Joshua, all right, in which I was just listening to the elder Yashawamba lesson on. I wasn't listening to it too long ago, right? This lesson here, in which it was going into how it only took, I believe, 2 to 3 weeks to go from that part of Egypt, all right, after the Red Sea, into the Promised Land. Only should have took 2 to 3 weeks, all right, not 40 years, man, all right. But this second address, 15:8, to go with the Exodus 2 and 23. All right, it says, I will hold my, I can start at, I start at verse 4, really, because, after the Lord delivered those, murmuring, complaining Israelites, all right, they were unfaithful, telling Moses, oh, you brought us out here to kill us, all right, to starve us to death, all right. And they actually seen the miracles that the Lord had wrought for them and still was against it, man, you know. And this verse 4 is for those people with that mindset. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Excuse me. It says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right. And as Israel was complaining, all right, back then, back in Exodus 2:23, all right, and I read the NLT, it says, but the Israelites continued to groan under their burden of slavery. They cried out for help. You see, we are crying out to Yahweh Bashim Shai, all right, of the wickedness, all right, that this place is just covered in gross wickedness, man, gross darkness, man, all right, and we're crying out continually to the Lord, saying, Baba Kashah, Hatazal Naya, which is, deliver me, Hawashai Noah, which deliver us, We're continuously complaining and crying out to the Lord that he, come and get us, man. All right. Verse 9, and therefore said the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. You see, which is going to be the elect. All right. It's not going to be all of Israel, right? According to Zechariah 13, verse 8. Let's get it real quick. Zechariah 13 and 8, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. You see? 2 parts, which is, 66% of our people is ultimately going to be cut off and put to death in this place, man. All right? We're not talking about, a shot to the head, all right? No, it's going to be grievous deaths, man. Painful, excruciating deaths, man. All right? They're going to be 2/3 left here until the missiles come, man. You see, as it says in 2nd Esdras 9, then shall they know after death by pain. So it's going to be a lot of death by pain coming to you 2/3, man. All right? Starting with the house of Israel, you see? But, I ain't going to read 9. It speaks for itself. That the Lord is refining that 1/3, and he's going to bring them through the fire. All right. But, another point I wanted to make is that, he says he's going to receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. All right. In which we know the innocent blood are those that are preordained or predestinated for salvation. All right. Those that are out warning the people, as it says in Ezekiel 3 and 17. All right. Getting the blood off our hands, man. All right. Let's jump to it real quick. I didn't even think about that. Right, this is Ezekiel 3 and 19. It says, yet if thou want the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. You see? So, the blood is off your hands at that point, all right? Because you have warned the wicked to turn away from their wickedness, and they what? They continue in the paths of this world, man, all right? Continue doing the things that's not pleasing to the Lord, you see? But what? You have delivered your soul, all right? And that applies to the prophets, okay? But it's back in Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. In verse 10, it says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." All right, which is this spiritual Egypt, okay, which is America. All right. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Okay. And we know that the Lord, let's see, real quick, because I looked this up once before, right? The 10. All right, the 10 plagues of Egypt. All right. And it says the 10 plagues of Egypt detailed in the book of Exodus were a series of divine punishments sent by the Most High to the Egyptians after Pharaoh refused to release the Israelites from slavery, culminating in the death of the firstborn. All right, and this is, the plagues of before, man. All right. Water turned into blood, frogs, gnats, lice, flies, pestilence on livestock, boils. And you can read all of this in Exodus, I believe, starting in the 3rd or 4th chapter. All right. But, I just wanted to pull that up real quick because the Lord said he would bring, smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the lands thereof. All right. Which is going to be pestilences. All right. All right. It says in verse 5, plagues, sword, famine, death, and destruction. All right. Pestilences. You see? It says, verse 12, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment of the Most High shall he bring upon it. All right. And we know ultimately that ultimate plague is going to be the ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay. Because as, we're going to have the greatest salvation ever seen on the face of the planet Earth. Okay. It's going to be a greater salvation than the time of Pharaoh. All right. When Moses parted the Red Sea. You see, it's going to be a greater destruction, the greatest destruction that the planet Earth has never seen. All right. When this place be totally annihilated by the ICBM nuclear missiles, man. You see? But let's see, let's jump back here and see something else that ties in. Let me see about this Exodus 3:20 real quick to go to Second Esdras 15 and 11. Yep, it says Exodus 3:19, it says, "And I am sure that the king of Egypt will not let you go, no, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof, and after that he will let you go." You see? So the Lord, as an example, the Lord stretching out his hand upon Egypt, man. All right? And like I brought out with all of the, the plagues, all right, this is the Lord's doing, okay? This is the plagues as before, okay? In which we are seeing, certain of those things happen now, all right? Case in point, the rivers of waters turning into blood, man, all right? Which I was looking at last night. I believe it was over there in Iran, even though it looked kind of weird, but it's all good. All right. It's been more places other than that place that, the water has actually turned to blood, which is, prophecy. All right. Yeah, but that's the point, that. All right. But I wanted to go to Exodus 1, okay, to show that there was a new king, all right, who ultimately was just concerned with oppressing, all right, and beating Israel down to the point to where, they couldn't do anything, right? Which led them to ultimately cry unto the Lord to help, all right? This is Exodus 1. Make sure I'm right. Oh, shit. Exodus 1:8, it says, "Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph." All right. When you go back to Genesis, all right, Joseph, had worked his way up to being the second in command over all of Egypt, right? But when this new king came into power, he didn't know Joseph. He wasn't going to recognize him either because that generation had passed away, all right? It says, "And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and they come to pass." Excuse me. "And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land." And I'll probably just read the rest in the NLT. It says, verse 10, it says, "We must make a plan to keep them from growing even more. If we don't, and if war breaks out, they will join our enemies and fight against us. They will escape from the country." So the Egyptians made the Israelites their slaves. They appointed brutal slave drivers over them, hoping to wear them down with crushing labor. They forced them to build the cities of Pithom and Ramses as supply centers for the king. But the more the Egyptians oppressed them, the more the Israelites multiplied and spread, and the more alarmed the Egyptians became. So the Egyptians worked the people of Israel without mercy. You see? And this is the mindset, all right, of the new king, all right, the previous but new king of Babylon, all right, so-called president of the US of A, all right, to work the people of Israel without mercy. All right, let's get Revelation 12, all right, because we know that persecution, this guy, he knows who the prophets are, all right. I believe it's Revelation 12. Yep, Revelation 12:17. It says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman," which the woman represents Israel, all right? And the dragon goes into the America, all right? The ruler of America. It says, "And went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach." You see that, and we know ultimately with this mindset, all right, to work the people of Israel without mercy, all right? I'm going to jump down a little bit. Right, verse 16, it says, "And when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew woman and seat them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then ye shall live." All right, and this guy was a tyrant, man. All right. He wanted to kill all of the male sons that were born, all right, which ultimately is how the story of Moses started, and then putting Moses in a basket. And I believe it was the daughter of Pharaoh drew him out of the water, right? But that's the point. All right, I'm going to jump to Isaiah 19. Okay. This is a prophetic chapter, all right? The Egyptians coming against the Egyptians. That also goes in the second Esdras, the 15th chapter, all right? But this is Isaiah 19:4. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts." All right. And, we can see a fierce king is ruling over us now. All right. As in the previous story in like I'm reading in Exodus. All right. You see how the mindset of this king was fierce, and he just wanted to destroy all of the children of Israel. All right. To actually cut us off from being a nation by killing what? The male firstborns. All right. The male, not firstborns, but any male that was born. You see? And that's the mindset of these devils, man. And it's gonna come to a point that where they're gonna seek the lives of the men of the Lord. You see, but as you know in Isaiah 59, that the Lord is gonna lift up a standard. All right. He's gonna make a way for us to escape. You see? And that's only gonna be for the men of the Lord. Okay. The other, Israelites, all right, like I brought out earlier in Zechariah 13:8, those 2/3, they're going to be cut off and die, man. All right. But I'll read 12 and 17 again, and it says, the dragon was wrought with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. All right. You see that remnant? It didn't say all of Israel. Okay. It said the remnant, according to the election of grace. Isaiah 1:9, it says, except the Lord Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. You see, the elect. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. All right, what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah? It was utterly destroyed with fire and brimstone. You see? So if the Lord didn't leave us a remnant, we all be destroyed here in Babylon the Great. But I guess I'll jump to Ezekiel 9:4, okay, to back up the second Esdras 15. Because as it says, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. All right, well, those men are being set up, all right, being built through the Spirit, all right, with a mark of exemption, all right. Let's get that word, mark, in Ezekiel 9, all right. Right. So I'll read Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. You see, the same men from 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, 15:8. The souls of the just complaining continually, all right, because of the wickedness what they profanely commit. You see? And the Lord said he's going to set a mark upon those men. Now, let's see what the word mark is here.
Strong's H8420, Tav.
Tav, which says a mark as a sign of exemption from judgment, okay? And we know in the ancient Egypt, all right, during the first Exodus, all right, the mark to have those exempt from the death angel was putting the blood upon our doorposts, okay? In which the Lord is setting up a spiritual mark upon the men that sigh and that cry upon all abominations that be done in the midst thereof. You see? Those men are going to be the ones that be exempt from the judgment that's coming to America. You see? Those are going to be the men that the Lord gives the spirit and power to perform miracles, all right? To make ways to escape, all right? To lift up a standard for. You see? And as I keep saying, all Israel not going to make it this time. You see? Yeah, you'll be all right in the kingdom, You're still an Israelite, but you still going to have a judgment to face in these times, And I don't want to Ratazah, myself and all the sincere Akim, all right, be a part of that righteous number, But it says, verse 5, and to the others he said, in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. And then they begin at the ancient men, which were before the house, which is why we always say, judgment is going to start with those that are teaching, all right, not teaching the right doctrine, going off, all right, trying to mix the truth with the world. You see? Man, the Lord is going to speedily judge those guys, man, who are not sincere. You see? But, I ended off with Jeremiah 16 and 14. It says, Therefore, behold, a day is come, said the Lord Yahweh, that it shall be no more said, the Lord liveth, that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and will bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers. You see? So it's going to be a new high holy day. All right. We know how serious, all right, as we are in the Feast of Unleavened Bread now. All right. But we know how serious, the solemn assembly of the times around the Passover is, and the Lord is going to, it's going to be a new high holy day, man. All right. The second Exodus, you see, because it's going to be a time like never before. All right. A salvation like never before. All right. Being beamed up into the chariots, the chambers. All right. Until the indignation be overpassed. And Lord will, I can get into another lesson on the salvation. All right. Of why this, when the Lord saves us this time, why it will be magnified greater than the times of Egypt, But that was pretty much the point, man. And I don't want to write this out. This lesson was edifying and straight to the point. Until next time, I say shalom.